Good evening and welcome to the Park and Recreation Board meeting for Thursday, March 12th, 2026. Can we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Mr. Thompson, roll call, please.
Good evening, Chair Mickey DiPaolo.
Here.
Vice Chair Robert Brody. Here. Board Member Farah Asadi.
Here.
Board Member Maisha Gamino.
Here.
Board Member Ara Masarlian.
Here.
Thank you.
Announcements, Mr. Alex Hernandez. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you for having me. Good evening, Chair Mickey DiPaolo and members of the board. Thank you to everyone joining us this evening. My name is Alex Hernandez, Recreation Coordinator in the Parks and Recreation Department. Tonight, I have the pleasure of sharing the department's program announcements and updates. Please begin the slideshow. Celebrate 25 years of nature, learning, and adventure at the Stowe Canyon Nature Center's 25th anniversary celebration on March 21st from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Enjoy a special I Spy Burbank mission, interactive booths, nature journaling, crafts, and more. For more information and to register, visit the Special Events tab at www.burbankparks.com. Get ready for Burbank Kings Day on March 21st, 2026 at 1 p.m. as the LA Kings take on the Buffalo Sabres at Crypto.com Arena. Cheer on the Kings, enjoy a special giveaway, and remember that every ticket purchased is automatically entered into a fan experience raffle. Tickets are $75 per person. Visit www.burbankca.gov/sports to purchase your tickets today. Join us for Story Owl Hour on March 26th at a monthly program that features a nature-themed story read by Burbank Public Library staff, followed by a hands-on activity led by Parks and Recreation staff. This event is perfect for children ages 2 to 5. Each month's theme brings new discoveries, and selected books will be available for checkout. Visit www.burbankparks.com to register today. You're invited to the 2026 Spring Egg Extravaganza on March 28 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at McCambridge Park. The event will feature egg hunts for various ages, games, and prizes. Burbank residents can register now at www.burbankparks.com. Open registration begins March 20th. Step into the great outdoors and discover the amazing wildlife right here in Burbank. Join us on March 29th from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. for a Doken-led hike where you'll learn about the Verdugo Mountains and the animals that call these trails home. This family-friendly adventure is a great way to explore nature and see the mountains from a whole new perspective. Register today at www.burbankparks.com. Join us for a moonlight hike on April 1st. Enjoy a unique evening workout while basking in the full moon's glow. Hike times vary depending on sunset. Visit burbankparks.com for details and to register. Don't miss your chance to experience nature in a whole new light. Celebrate the creativity of Burbank's youth artists at the 2026 Youth Art Expo, on display at the Betsy Lukey Creative Arts Center from April 3rd through April 29th, 2026. This colorful annual exhibition, presented in partnership with the Fine Arts Federation, features artwork created by kindergarten through 12th grade students from Burbank public and private schools, showcasing the imagination and talent of the next generation of artists. Join us for the opening reception and award ceremony for grades K through 5 on Friday, April 3rd from 5:30 to 7 p.m. and grades 6 through 12 on Saturday, April 4th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Join the Dig Burbank volunteers on April 4th at 8 a.m. as they help care for our parks and keep our community beautiful. Lend a hand with planting and cleanup, meet new people, and make a positive impact right here in Burbank. All ages are welcome, and tools and supplies are provided. Learn more at www.burbankca.gov/Dig Burbank. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date with the latest Parks and Recreation programs, events, and updates. Thank you. This concludes the department announcements.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. a lot of great things coming up in the future. Presentation, 26 Community Champions Grant video presentation. I'd like to introduce Mr. John McGinley.
Not John, but Edgar Manukian, it's okay. So, good evening, Chair DePaulo and Park Board members. My name is Edgar Manukian, Recreation Coordinator of Youth Sports. The 26 Community Champions Grant Program was launched to support community organizations advancing inclusive sports and recreation opportunities leading up to the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The grant focuses on expanding access to sports and creating more opportunities for athletes of all abilities and backgrounds. The City of Burbank Parks and Recreation Department, in partnership with Burbank Power Soccer, submitted a proposal aimed at expanding adaptive power soccer programming in Burbank. The application deadline was April of 2025. The proposal highlighted the success of local power soccer program and the need for additional equipment, as well as opportunities for league and tournament play. In June of 2025, the City of Burbank and Burbank Power Soccer were selected as one of 26 Community Champion Grant recipients, recognizing the program's impact and commitment to inclusive recreation. The grant will support the continued growth of the program, including the purchase of additional power soccer chairs that will be available for community use during drop-in play. As part of the recognition, a promotional video was produced highlighting the selected organizations and the work they are doing in their communities. Before we premiere the video, I want to take a moment to recognize someone who has played an incredible role in building this program, Armando Ornales, who has been the driving force behind Burbank Power Soccer from the very beginning. His passion, dedication, and leadership helped create this team and grow into the special program it is today. Week after week, Armando volunteers his time, coaching athletes every Sunday at McCambridge Recreation Center, creating a space where players can compete, connect, and be part of a team. Simply put, we would not be in this position today without his commitment to the program and the athletes he serves. So on behalf of the City of Burbank Parks and Recreation Department, thank you, Armando, for everything you have done to make Burbank Power Soccer such a meaningful and impactful program. And now we're excited to share the Community Champions video premiere.
Burbank's Power Soccer program is one of the few in the region, but here in Burbank, it's more than just a sport. It's a space where athletes can build confidence, teamwork, and competitive excellence, all through the world's most popular game, soccer.
Power soccer is a team sport designed and developed for power wheelchair users. My son, Kyle, he was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy, and at that time he wanted to play a sport, but this power soccer is a power wheelchair sport, and we found out about it, and he played, and so I got involved in coaching, and then I was reached out a few years ago by the City of Burbank. The City of Burbank has been really helpful, giving these individuals that are disabled an opportunity to come out and play a team sport.
The 26 Community Champions Grants really allows us to highlight this sport. It also allows us the opportunity to expand our program and to secure these specialized pieces of equipment.
There's a lot of individuals that depend on this, so the grant will come into play as accumulating more chairs and getting more people involved in the sport.
As we look forward to the FIFA World Cup 2026, we're really excited that Burbank's athletes will be highlighted, showcasing the power of sport, fostering equity, inclusion, and opportunity for all.
You know, we're soccer. You know, the World Cup's coming. That's soccer. Soccer's for everybody. It's inclusive. Everybody needs to play soccer.
I'm hoping through Burbank's adaptive sports programs, and in particular a power soccer program, we're able to inspire other communities to do the same for our young men and women who have a desire to play and recreate, and in particular play soccer.
Power soccer, the fastest growing sport on wheels. Come out and experience it.
All super fun stuff. I'd also like to introduce Armando, the coach of the Power Chair Soccer program. He's in the stands over here. Come on up, Armando. Come on. Gotta put you on the spot.
All right. Well, thank you. You know, power soccer is very important to our family. My son Kyle was wheelchair-bound at age 13. He didn't have the upper body strength to play the other adaptive sports like wheelchair basketball or rugby. So this sport was designed for power wheelchair users. To have a program coming to fruition, we need to have a place to play. So we thank the City of Burbank for allowing us to use their gymnasium. We need to have committed players and a good support staff. So I want to thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that concludes our presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see, for our next presentation, Burbank Adaptive Sports Expo, partners, sponsors, and volunteer recognition, Mr. John McGinley.
All right, good evening, Chair DiPaolo and Park Board members. My name is John McGinley, Recreation Service Manager. I want to take a moment to recognize and thank everyone who helped make the 3rd annual Burbank Adaptive Sports Expo such a success this year. First, to our sponsors and partners, your generous support continues to amplify and enhance BASE year after year. Thanks to you, we were able to serve 330 registered participants this year, up from 240 last year, and welcome thousands of visitors to the park. The community feedback has been overwhelmingly positive, and this growth would not be possible without your commitment. Equally important are our volunteers, who give their time, energy, and expertise to ensure every athlete and family has a meaningful experience. Your dedication embodies the spirit of this event and makes BASE the welcoming, inclusive celebration of adaptive sports that it has become. This year's sports for the day included wheelchair rugby, power soccer, para-fencing, boccia, adaptive baseball and softball, adaptive skateboarding, adaptive martial arts, adaptive soccer, tennis for individuals with Down syndrome and autism, wheelchair tennis, wheelchair pickleball, wheelchair basketball, and the all-terrain track chairs. Thank you again to all of our sponsors, partners, and volunteers. Your contributions truly make a difference in our community and help make BASE an unforgettable experience for all participants. I would also like to extend a special thank you to our incredible BASE committee. Your dedication and hard work continue to inspire the team to push this event forward and make it an even better event each year. Now, with the help of Chair DiPaolo, we will call up the sponsors, partners, and volunteers. All right, I'd like to start with one of our big sponsors that is on the grounds, and we would not be able to do this event without the Burbank Tennis Center. So come on up, Burbank Tennis Center. We have Derek here, so thank you, Derek.
If I can have Councilmember Chris Rosati also join us for the photo.
All right, next up, we have SoCal Adaptive Sports. Come on up. We have Chris Allen here for SoCal Adaptive Sports.
Let me get your picture too really quick. Hold on. Can I get it? And I'll give you two. One at a time. You too, man. 1, 2, 3.
Next, we just heard from Armando, but we'd like to call up Power Soccer. And Armando, come on up, please. Next, we have Gain Federal Credit Union and Lori Pollock Cares. Thank you. That was for both. Okay, we have a longtime volunteer here as well. I'd like to call up Karen Sartorez.
One, two,
All right, next up, I'd like to call up Harper Winworth. I'm sorry, Woodworth.
She did the adaptive tap dancing.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
I thanks.
I'm gonna take one with your phone too.
That would be great, so I'm gonna send her a picture, I'll crop her in here.
2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
All right, next up, Carrie McGallen. I'm sorry, how am I saying that? McAloon, I'm sorry. Thank you.
One, two, three.
Next up, let's see here, you gotta help me with that one. Adam Chesky, I'm sorry. Jonathan Adam Chesky.
One, you wanna hold your certificate up? Sure. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Next up, we have Tejas Tepak.
One, two, three.
Is that it? All right.
More picture.
Get a group picture. Oh yeah, we got you in here.
Sorry about that, guys. One more picture. One more. Oh. 1, 2. Now I can get a group picture if you all want.
He's on the side, so.
Have you scoot in a little more? Yep, if you can come.
We have one more here. Perfect. Jovita Ortega.
Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. And then if I can just get you to stay so I can get a picture of the 3.
Yeah.
1, 2. Perfect. Thank you. Yep, thank you.
All right, that concludes our base recognition. And again, I just want to take a moment to thank everyone that had any piece of involvement in this event. If you made it out, able to see it, but just an incredible event. And thank you all for the support.
Thank you, Mr. McGinley. Department Director Report, Ms. Marissa Garcia.
Good evening, Chair DiPaolo and board members. I don't have anything to report out. However, I do want to echo John McGinley's comments and thank the board for your support and all of our volunteers and sponsors for making our base third annual base event a huge success. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Very appropriate comments. Thank you. What would we do without our volunteers? We'd be in a world of trouble. So thanks to all the volunteers throughout the year. It's a great thing to do. Okay, now we come to our public comment. Now is the time for general public comment. For members of the public who are here in person and wish to speak, please present a completed general public comment card to the recording secretary. Any person speaking during general public comment may address the board on any matter related to the Parks and Recreation Board. Comments are limited to 3 minutes per person. In order to promote fairness, please stay within your maximum allotted time of 3 minutes. A timer is available on the podium to help the speaker keep track of how much time is left. Please state your name for the record. I also encourage you to call in during the general public comment period at area code 818-238-3335. Calls will be placed in a queue until all in-person comments have been received. For callers, please remember to lower the volume on your TV or computer and take your phone off speaker when you deliver your public comment. At this time, we'll begin with the in-person comments. The first card I have for a speaker is Eric Hawk. Welcome, Mr. Hawk.
Hey, thank you, thank you. Good evening to the wonderful members of the Parks and Recreation Board, terrific city staff, and others who've taken time out of their evening to participate in this evening's meeting. My name, for the record again, is Eric Hawk. I'm the current president of the Board of Directors of the Burbank Community Band. And first of all, the band and I are incredibly grateful to have been selected as a recipient of funds from the most recent Burbank Community Arts Grant. The support that this board, through its Cultural Arts Commission, certainly helps your community's band share music with the Burbank community. With respect to that, we do have an upcoming show. The band is putting the finishing touches on our next performance. This will be on Saturday, April the 11th at 2 p.m. at the main stage, the main auditorium of Dolores Huerta Middle School at Mariposa Street, 420 South Mariposa Street. And this is going to be the presentation of Milestones of Freedom concert. It's going to be highlighting the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence, as well as the 175th anniversary of California statehood. So the concert will present music composed in America in the late 1700s, as well as music inspired by the events surrounding the signing and then the announcing of the Declaration of Independence. Also, the concert will highlight songs of California, including our own adorable state song of I Love You, California. It's a real treasure of a state song. The concert will also highlight historic transformations in this country's freedoms and liberties, presenting powerful pieces of touchstone moments, such as the abolition of slavery, the expansion of creative expression through the birth of jazz, and also the civil rights movement of the 1960s, music inspired by that. The concert will feature a pop-up art show featuring works by local Burbank artists, as well as we're going to have free cookies provided by the Capitol Grill restaurant here in Burbank as well. So for all attendees. The musicians of our band are really enjoying preparing these songs because at little old McCambridge Park on Friday mornings, they're creating music that is filled with hope and joy. And in just a few weeks, we will share such joyful experiences with all y'all, we hope. The free Milestones of Freedom concert will be again on Saturday, April the 11th at 2 p.m. at Dolores Huerta Middle School, 420 South Mariposa Street, right here in Burbank. And if for whatever reason you're not able to make that date, or you just need a little bit more love and uplifting in your life, we will have a preview concert on Friday, April the 10th at the Jocelyn Adult Center, 1301 West Olive Avenue, right here in Burbank. Thank you all very much, everybody. All right.
What time is that at Jocelyn Center?
Oh, at Jocelyn, that's going to be, I'm sorry, that's at 10 in the morning, that one. That'll be
Thank you.
Friday at 10. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Hawk.
Thank you, thank you. And I got flyers, well, at least for the Saturday one.
Any other cards? I have no. Okay. No phone calls. Okay. Seeing no other speakers, we will now close the public comment period. Any response to Mr. Hawk or anything? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Hawk, for coming in here every month. And the Burbank Community Band is definitely a wonderful part of our community, and we thank you for all you do. Written communications?
There are none received.
No written communications. Park board comments. Any park board comments? Okay, I'd like to make a quick couple of comments on, I attended the Burbank Athletic Federation meeting a week ago Tuesday, And to say that the sports department is doing a lot of things and is just some of the things that I found out at the meeting were really, really outstanding. This summer, they're going to have 60 camp offerings in 12 different sports. That's pretty amazing. And they're talking about expanding the responsibilities of the Burbank Athletic Federation to include swim teams, water polo, pool rental, and just as kind of expanding the BAF responsibility. And for all you pickleball aficionados, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, pickleball, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Mary Alvord Recreation Center. So please, I'm sure that's going to be, according to Diego, it's already pretty crowded, so that's great. The FIFA Fan Zone is going to be here Saturday, July 18th, 12 to 8 p.m. And there will be a game 2 to 4 p.m. And let's see, what else here? It'll be at the Burbank, at the mall, correct? Is that where it's going to be? Yeah.
What's that for?
Yeah, and on the 19th of July, 10:30 a.m. to 6 p.m., there'll be a festivities over there also. And, of course, the Kings, March 21st, as was mentioned earlier. The NFL flag had a total of 160 players participate this past season, so the sports office is really busy doing a lot of great things, and thank you to the BAF for stepping up and volunteering their services. Budget update for fiscal year 2026-27. I'd like to introduce Ms. Dina Moon. Welcome, Ms. Moon.
Thank you. All right. I can start the presentation. All right. Good evening, Chair DiPaolo and members of the board. Dina Moon, Administrative Officer, and I will be presenting the budget update for fiscal year 2026-27. To provide a little bit of background on the city's overall revenues and expenditures, this slide shows the numerous sources of revenues the city relies on. Most notable, 56% of revenues are generated from two sources, which include property and sales tax. And you can see by this chart, the city has an advantage with such a diverse revenue base. This next slide illustrates how the city spends the money. While safety makes up approximately 50%, Parks and Recreation has just under 14% of the city's overall budget, which equates to approximately $38.2 million. At the February 12, 2026 board meeting, the department provided a memo to the Parks and Recreation Board as detailed in attachment 1 to this report. This memo outlined the budget parameters and internal deadlines, which included an implementation of a hiring chill and budget requests only for state-mandated requirements and fully depreciated asset replacements. The city's annual budget is comprised of 3 deadlines. As of today, 2 of the deadlines have been met. The remaining deadline is March 27th. The proposed budget will be presented at the May 5th council meeting and adopted at the June 2nd council meeting. Due to the city's projected $4 million budget deficit in the upcoming fiscal year, the city manager directed departments to limit or avoid new budget requests during this budget cycle. However, we are fortunate that there are no proposed budget cuts at either the department or citywide level. Because of this, the Parks Department developed our requests thoughtfully and conservatively, focusing primarily on contractual obligations and essential needs in order to maintain current service levels. Within the parameters, the department submitted funding requests to support the following: our senior nutrition program, our DeBell Golf Course operating expenses, which is partially offset with increased revenues, utilities, aquatics and sports contract classes, funding for our cultural arts program, our Burbank Arts Utility Box Beautification Program, our 4th of July drone show, and recycling receptacles at parks and ball fields due to state mandate AB 341. And please note, since publishing the staff report, the department has continued to adjust our budget requests. Funding for the cultural arts program was reduced to $100,000, and the request for recycle receptacles at parks and ball fields was reduced to $235,000. And this project will be phased over the next 6 years. While it's the department's hope these requests will be approved, that's undetermined at this moment. And as the budget process is in its final stages, I will highlight a few of the remaining upcoming important dates. As mentioned, May 5th is the council review of the budget materials, general fund, enterprise funds, special revenue funds, and internal service funds. May 19th is the continuation of the budget presentation if needed, as well as the infrastructure presentation. And June 2nd will be the public hearing and adoption of the 2026-27 budget. And this concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions? Thank you very much, Ms. Moon, for a nice presentation. Okay, moving on. Update on fiscal year 2025-26 completed capital improvement projects and fiscal years 2026-27 request. Once again, I think Ms. Moon is on the air
It
again.
sure is. All right. As mentioned, I'll be presenting an update on our completed fiscal year 2025-26 capital improvement projects, referred to as our CIPs, and our fiscal year 2026-27 CIP requests. As you can see by this slide, the department has completed several exciting CIP projects this year. During this presentation, I will show photos of these improvements and highlight our CIP requests for fiscal year 2026-27. The Mary Alvord Recreation Center received new height-adjustable basketball backboards, replacing the current backboards, which were originally installed in 1961. The replacement ensures safety and playability for both our youth and adult leagues. The playground equipment was replaced at the Santa Anita Playlot. This ensures compliance with the Consumer Product Safety Commission guidelines, as well as current ADA requirements. This new playground provides a variety of the latest play features and experiences for children of all abilities, with a fun movie theme, which certainly goes well since our city is dubbed as the entertainment capital of the world. New shade structures were installed at ball fields 1, 2, and 4 at Olive Park, providing much-needed shade for spectators. Field 3 also had a structure refresh with the fabric replacement. Schaefer Ball Field received energy-efficient lighting. This improvement provides utility and maintenance cost savings, improves field of play visibility, and a reduction of light spillover into our surrounding residential areas. And as you can see by this slide, the department will be continuing with some exciting CIPs for our next fiscal year. We have the Dick Clark Dog Park, the continuation of the Starlight Bowl Transformation Project, the McCambridge Pool replacement, Olive Recreation Center and Theater replacement, and the playground equipment replacement at Earthwalk Park. And this concludes my presentation, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions or input from the board?
I have a question, and feel free to stop me if this question isn't, part of your presentation.
Sure.
But I remember, and Marissa, feel free to stop me if this is not the right place, and then maybe we can add it as an agenda item. But I remember it's maybe been a couple of years now, we were trying to get a soccer field over at Brace Canyon, and I don't think I've ever heard like what came of that, and I don't know if that's something that's supposed to be, again, if this is the wrong vertical, we can look at it as a new agenda item, but I didn't know what happened to that, if that's something that's supposed to be included as a CIP or what's going on.
Yes, thank you, Board Member Musserlian, for the question. And this is the absolute appropriate time to ask that question. That project is still active. In terms of its, we have some funding. We, at the request of, just based on some community input, we took a step, we kind of paused moving forward and are completing an assessment to evaluate. If you may recall, there was, our intent was to replace the ball fields at Bryce Canyon Park with artificial turf due to the fact that those ball fields are over a reservoir, and because of that, we cannot use recycled water. So that's one factor. The other is we cannot use any fertilizers or any chemicals to keep that turf green. And as you all know, our ball fields are multi-purpose fields. So they're used for multiple sports. They're heavily, heavily used. So we made the, working through several options, made the a recommendation to replace those ball fields with artificial turf, seeing that would be the most appropriate turfing for that particular ball field because of the fact that it's over a reservoir. The project was approved by council, and we were moving forward as we were going through some additional community engagement. There was an expressed concern by some community members about the environmental impacts of artificial turf. And so we took a step, kind of paused that and working with a third party to do an assessment, evaluating multiple factors, comparing natural turf with artificial turf. We will be bringing that report to this body to present it, have you weigh in on what your recommendation would be. Ultimately, we would be going back to City Council to make that decision whether we want to continue with artificial turf or if we want to do replace those fields with natural turf. There's pros and cons. It is certainly not an easy decision, but that's where we are with that project. We're happy to, if at the end of the meeting with additional agenda items, should the board wish to have a more in-depth report before we bring this assessment, we're happy to do so.
No, that's great.
Sure.
I just remember at one point, and again, apologies for my ignorance if I'm mistaken here, but there was an unfunded needs list and there was a lot of stuff on there, but I don't see a lot of them. Maybe I'm wrong. A lot of them are not on here.
Correct.
So does that mean that we are not recommending those to be put in front of council as a capital improvement project for this coming year? And if that's the case, then why not? Is it because of some of the city managers, some of the budget constraints? I guess I'm just like, there was a lot of stuff, the expansion of pickleball.
Correct.
There's a lot of things on the unfunded needs list that I thought would be going into this, but a lot of them are not there. So maybe if you can give an explanation as to what went into that, and then would they come back for the following year? So I'm just, just if you can get an explanation on that.
Also, another great question. There are many unfunded needs, not just in Park and Rec, but throughout the city. So what goes into, and again, we look at our list, and we have to prioritize. A couple of the challenges that we have is our resources. One is staffing to manage these projects. Most of the projects that are in Park and Rec that you saw today are managed by this team that's here, who have, which is just an additional responsibility. So we have to manage, we want to be realistic with what we can accomplish. So that is one of the factors. So we have our, every year we look at, we focus on safety first, right? So what are some of the core, and then, we all have different, prioritize things differently. But from our perspective, we're looking at replacing playgrounds, Some of the projects that you see are funded through, we have some restricted funds, so like the shade structures, partially funded through BAF funds. So there's some, a lot of things that go into that. And then also funding. We have to compete with all the other city projects that from streets and sidewalks, improvements to city facilities. So while we may submit a request of a longer list, they are reviewed, and not to say that we have a certain amount, an allocation, but they evaluate all of the projects based on safety. If there are some mandates that we have to make some improvements. So there's a lot of factors that go into it. I can tell you that pickleball is on that list, right? Expanding pickleball, as well as, I'm drawing a blank right now, but we would have loved to do more playgrounds. We need to do irrigation. I will mention there are some projects that were still active that we are in the process of completing. So we have irrigation at DeBell. We have design irrigation at some of our other parks. So we have some projects that are funded and are in some state of, execution, whether they're in design. We're going through the bidding process. So we just want to be very responsible to, one, the workload of staff, but also responsible to the funding. But I hope that answers the question. But it's a lot of different factors, and I can tell you, the city, is looking to build a new library. We have our Olive Rec Center and performing arts facility, so we have to be also very mindful because it's all coming from the same pot of money.
That's what I was going to ask about was the George Isaiah Park master plan. Wasn't that supposed to be started in 2026 or 27? And then if it's not on here, does that mean then it goes into the 27-28 fiscal year budget? Or I guess what's going on with that?
Yeah, thank you for the question. So the George Isaiah Park Master Plan is in construction document development phase. And so currently through the next 12 months, we're going to be developing contractual documents that we can then go out to bid if funding is available for the build of that facility. We're in that same phase for the McCambridge swimming pool. So we've engaged an architect, and by the end of this calendar year, we should have construction documents then to go out to bid, should funding be available.
So I guess my question is, if that's the case, then does that mean that it would need to go into the 27-28 fiscal year budget? So it would be, okay.
Yes.
So it would be there. And then, one more last question. What if there, and this is more, I just need to be educated. What if something is not on this 26-27 budget, but it needs I don't know, something comes up, we need to do it. Is there kind of an
like an emergency plan? Or something?
Whatever it is. Yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously emergency, you have a fund for that, but I guess the question I'm asking is, if it's not on this list for 26-27, that means that if it's not an emergency, it's not going to happen, and it probably wouldn't happen until 27-28. Is that accurate?
Yes, if I understand the question. I know Diego, I think, wants to say something, but generally speaking, yes. So we can certainly provide the board a list of all of our active projects so you can see what's on there. It's in the staff report, thank you. And so if it's not there, and if it's not listed as an active project or one of the proposed projects, then no, it's not funded, and we would have to, it would be funded through the next budget cycle, 27-28.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Just one more thing to add on emergencies, right? Court surface repairs, wind damage for fencing, windscreens. We have dollars in our budget to manage those things that come up as ongoing maintenance items. So because they're not on a project list, we do have dollars for maintenance.
And one thing I will add, as part of our tour, our facilities tour that we do September, October, and we plan that a few months before our capital improvement project list is due. I think that would probably be a really good time for us to revisit. We can revisit our unfunded needs list so you all can see what's on there. If there's something that's missing, there can be a discussion. If the board wants to, really push and advocate for one of the unfunded projects, that be considered for submittal for the next fiscal year. I think that would be a really appropriate time for us to do it if you'd like to.
Okay, and I swear this is my last question.
No, it's okay.
So if something's in the fiscal year budget of 26-27, that doesn't necessarily mean it's completed that year, right? That just means that there's budget allocated to begin it, and then it still needs to probably be bid out, construction needs to start, et cetera. So I guess where I'm going with this is, obviously, I have a passion for pickleball, so I'm speaking about that, but I'm not just referring to that. I'm referring to other projects as well. But so if it's not on the list for 26-27, that means that potentially it might go into a list for 27-28, which means that you're still probably another 1 or 2 years away from any project being, so you're probably looking at 2030 for anything to really actually happen. And the reason I ask is because a lot of people naturally come to me because I'm of my position here, and they ask me and they say, "Oh, I heard it's happening," and I'm like, "Well, actually, no." I said there's a desire, but it's not actually. So realistically, you're talking about a 2 to 3 year process from when something is even approved by City Council in the fiscal year budget to actually see it come to fruition in real life. Is that accurate?
It depends on the project. So there are some projects that we can do, and we get funding and we start and complete it within that fiscal year. So it depends on the project. It depends on the complexity of the project. For example, playgrounds, right? We replace a playground. We go through the cooperative agreement process. So we don't have to go out to bid because another agency has already gone out to bid. And there's a list of vendors who have been identified through a competitive bid process that another agency did, and we can utilize that vendor. So that saves us 4-5 months from it had to go through our own process. So that's one. Some other projects, again, it just depends on the complexity. So for pickleball, let's just use that as an example, is it building a pickleball complex, which is one, which would be a more complicated project, or is it expanding an existing pickleball or some pickleball courts, or adding to exactly? So that may or may not be completed within one fiscal year. Again, it just depends on that project. Sure.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you, Ms. Garcia. Thank you, Diego. Okay, adaptive sports update, Mr. John McGinley.
All right, hello, Chair DiPaolo and Park Board members. Historically, individuals with disabilities have faced barriers to participating in sports and recreation. These barriers often include limited adaptive equipment, inaccessible facilities, high equipment costs, transportation challenges, limited trained staff, and a lack of awareness of adaptive recreation opportunities. Since 2021, the City of Burbank Parks and Recreation Department has prioritized adaptive and inclusive recreation as a core service. The department has developed structured programs that reduce financial, physical, and social barriers to participation. What began as a single youth pilot program has grown into a year-round system of adaptive sports and inclusive recreation opportunities for residents of all ages and abilities. The city's strategy focuses on accessible public facilities, adaptive equipment inventories, free or low-cost drop-in programming, staff training and nonprofit partnerships, community events that promote awareness and participation. This approach ensures adaptive sports are integrated into the city's regular recreation services rather than offered only on occasional programs. All right, some program development and milestones. Go ahead and start the PowerPoint. All All right, the department's adaptive sports initiative began in 2021 with the launch of Piper's Pals Inclusive Youth Sports Program. Designed to remove barriers from youth with disabilities, the program initially focused on adaptive baseball and integrated participants into city-sponsored leagues, establishing Burbank's first inclusive youth sports pathway. Here's a photo of the Nelson family. So here we have Piper, Tiffany, Dwayne, Barrett, and Cannon. Piper's Pals continues to serve as a foundation for future adaptive and inclusive recreation participation. In 2022, the department launched Wheelchair Rugby in partnership with Triumph Foundation. This program became the city's first adult adaptive sports offering. Wheelchair Rugby also established the weekly drop-in program model that has been replicated across multiple adaptive sports offered by the department. In 2023, the department introduced Power Chair Soccer, expanding access for individuals who utilize power mobility devices. The program emphasizes physical activity, teamwork, strategy, and social connection while supporting positive mental wellness outcomes. In January of 2024, Piper's Pals expanded to include inclusive youth basketball, broadening access to team sports and increasing year-round participation opportunities for children with disabilities. This program has now grown to include 2 full teams. In February of 2024, the department hosted the first annual Burbank Adaptive Sports Expo, engaging approximately 200 athletes and 1,000 attendees. The event featured more than 18 adaptive sports and recreation activities, including wheelchair rugby, boccia, power chair soccer, parafencing, beep baseball, visually impaired judo, chair yoga, and adaptive fitness. In 2024, the department also launched wheelchair fencing, adding another Paralympic discipline to the weekly adaptive sports lineup, which has now grown into one of the biggest drop-in locations in Southern California. The second annual Base Expo expanded to approximately 240 athletes and nearly 3,000 attendees, featuring more than 20 adaptive sports and recreation opportunities. This event also strengthened partnerships with the Burbank Advisory Council on Disabilities, Hearts for Sight, and the Burbank Tennis Center, along with support from Leadership Burbank. In 2025, the city opened the Centennial Playground, a fully inclusive playground designed for children of all abilities. The playground, which debuted during the base ribbon cutting ceremony, is fully ADA compliant and features adaptive swings, wheelchair accessible ramps, sensory friendly elements, and universally designed play structures. The department hosted Rayados Adaptive Sports Day in partnership with Club de Football Monterrey and Angels City Sports. This international activation featured amputee soccer, power chair soccer, and wheelchair football, connecting global sport culture with local inclusion initiatives. The department also launched a boccia drop-in program in partnership with SoCal Adaptive Sports and USA Boccia, further diversifying low-impact and precision-based adaptive recreation opportunities. Burbank High School will be a location of an upcoming USA Boccia tournament on April 11th and 12th. In 2025, the department hosted the first annual Power Soccer Adaptive Sports Tournament, supported by the LA World Cup 2026 Host Committee and the Play Equity Fund through the 26 Community Champions Grant, totaling $26,000. This event represented a significant milestone by advancing power chair soccer from a recreational play to a competitive tournament environment, connecting adaptive sports to the broader global excitement surrounding the FIFA World Cup 2026. In 2026, the department launched an adaptive hiking program at Stowe Canyon Nature Center, utilizing all-terrain track chairs. These chairs allow individuals with mobility disabilities to access hiking trails through a reserve-based system, expanding inclusive recreation beyond traditional sport offerings. The third annual Burbank Adaptive Sports Expo welcomed 330 registered athletes and expanded community participation. The event opened with a ribbon-cutting ceremony for 2 new powered soccer chairs, followed by a performance by the Roulettes. New sports included adaptive skate and wheelchair, and youth baseball and softball. The department currently offers weekly adaptive drop-in programs, including wheelchair rugby, power chair soccer, boccia, parafencing, wheelchair fencing, and adaptive hiking. Collectively, these programs serve approximately 4,800 athletes' visits annually. All right, the city's leadership in inclusive recreation has been recognized through the Helen Putnam Award for Excellence for Innovation in Inclusive Recreation Programming, and the selection as a recipient of the LA World Cup 2026 Host Committee's 26 champions. These recognitions highlight Burbank's commitment to accessibility, inclusion, and community wellness. Adaptive sports initiatives have been supported through the combination of city funding, grants, sponsorships, and community partners, including $26,000 from the LA World Cup 26 community champions, $40,000 from adaptive equipment grant from LA County Supervisor Catherine Barger, $90,000 from Leadership Burbank fundraising for adaptive equipment, and $30,000 in base event sponsorships. The City of Burbank has developed a comprehensive adaptive sports and inclusive recreation system that continues to expand and access participation for residents with disabilities. Through year-round programming, strong partnerships, community events, and investments in inclusive infrastructure, Burbank has created meaningful recreation pathways for individuals of all abilities. Staff will continue to evaluate programs, pursue external funding opportunities, and strengthen partnerships to ensure the long-term sustainability and continued growth of adaptive recreation in Burbank. Thank you. That concludes my report. All right.
Any questions for Mr. McGinley?
Not a question, but a comment. Thank you, Diego, Marissa, John, and team for all your hard work with the adaptive sports program. It's truly impactful, and not only from physical health, but mental health, emotional health, and it's just a beacon of hope and joy and true inclusivity. So I'm so proud to see all of the amazing work that you're doing and your partnership ability of finding these amazing organizations, Triumph, Piper's Pals, and really like tapping into that partnership potential is really impressive, and I'm excited to see more and more of that, because I think that you are doing an amazing job yourselves, and you're finding amazing partners, and together you can do so much more. So thank you. It's really impressive.
Thank you. That's very appropriate words. Thank you. And we could thank really Piper's Pals, who are community-based, and they came up with an idea just like pickleball, and look what's happening now. So it's wonderful to see. Thank you, John, Diego, Marissa.
Just out of curiosity, I think it's been widely recognized that Burbank is kind of a leader in LA County in adaptive sports. Just out of curiosity, a lot of these programs you have, these drop-ins, these tournaments, camps, whatever it is that you have, are you guys seeing, you might not have an exact percentage, but just curious, are most of them coming from outside of Burbank? Are they Burbank residents? Is it a mix? Just curious, because it's so well known, I think, that I was just curious if it's really drawing people from other.
It's a huge mix. So we've noticed people coming from really far away, and people that are hometown residents here. We actually got a AI system that we use called AI Placer that kind of gives us some of that information. So it kind of shows us where people are coming from and going. But I'd say it's quite a mixture. So Diego and I have had conversations with the family that came all the way from Ventura. They're driving here every Sunday, so they're making an hour drive down here. But there's also, like we were saying, Piper's Pals, and that's a lot of our local kids that go to BUSD schools here. So I say it's a good mix. Yeah.
If I could add, and thank you for the comments. One of the things that I'm very proud of this team. I'm proud of our community, all of our partners for really, supporting our efforts. I do want to mention that we have been getting a lot of attention. We've been on the news, and I'm very happy to share that there are a lot of other communities, a lot of cities, municipalities in LA County that have been reaching out to us. So it's my hope that it's just the beginning, and I would love to see the program that we offer, or just a small piece of what we do in Burbank, throughout every single city in Los Angeles County to begin with, before we branch off to the state and the nation. But really, it does just take, somebody knocking on a door, somebody saying yes. And that's how this program has really started. It's very organic, and it's grown. And we're really, really happy, and we're more than happy to share our successes and help any other community who wants to do something similar, because it's not very difficult, and the impact is it goes beyond, it's priceless, really. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Okay, we go on to the consent calendar, and the consent calendar consists of approval of minutes from February 12th, 2026, City Council agenda items update, contract compliance, Police Park Patrol report, Dick Clark Dog Park progress report, and departmental object operations update. Do we have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
I motion to approve the consent calendar as is.
I second. All those in favor? Oh, we want to do the roll call.
Yep.
Thank you, sorry.
Chair Mickey DiPaolo,
Yes.
Vice Chair Robert Brody, Board Member Farah Asadi,
Yes.
Board Member Maisha Gamino,
Yes.
and Board Member R. Masterlian.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any tabled items? No tabled items. Additional comments from the board? I have a quick comment. Anybody else? I'll let you all go first. Real quick on the capital improvement projects. In looking at these, when I was on the department, I retired about 16, 17 years ago. The dog park was virtually every park and recreation board meeting. We had the Riverside Drive residents, really passionate people about the dog park. So now that Dick Clark Productions has contributed some money, I think it's a time to put that as one of our priorities. The people that are passionate about it have been waiting for several years. And then we go down Starlight, where we're having a community engagement for the Starlight Bowl. That's exciting. We definitely need something up there, an improvement. The facility is outworn, its usefulness. We just need a safety factor, which Ms. Garcia mentioned. And this is something near and dear to my heart because I opened that pool in 1957. I think the McCambridge Park pool replacement is another very much needed item, and also there's a safety issue. The pool is old. It needs to be replaced. And the new design and everything is going to be very exciting. I think it's going to balance out the crowds at Verdugo Park, because there'd be a lot of things up in McCambridge that will maybe absorb some of the attendance, because you go by Verdugo Park on a Sunday during the summer and the parking lot is filled. So that's another wonderful thing. And also, of course, the Olive Recreation Center, which goes back to World War II. They renovated it in 1973, and to be honest, they didn't do a very good job. And yeah, this is what we need. This is something that's going to uplift our community aesthetically, and especially where we're going to be able to provide a lot more recreation activities for both adaptive and our participants that have been coming to the park for years. And Earthwalk Park, I think they opened that in sometime in the 80s, I believe, or early 90s. And it needs renovated. I've been by there. It's in dire need of renovation. And like Ms. Garcia said, safety is one of the first things that we need to consider. It's especially in this day and time. So I think that obviously it's great that we need more pickleball courts. And that program came on due to community support, and it's booming. But I think that these priorities right now are what we really need. And any further support we can be, please let us know. And obviously, if my colleagues on the board have some other ideas, please feel free to mention those. And one other thing, real quick, as far as going out to different activities, I myself do not go out much at night. So I'm going to make it the rest of my term as chair to make sure I go out to the Art Expo openings. At my age, 5:30 is like, oh, it's dark, But so during the summer, I can go out, and I plan on doing that. And I know that all of us show up at events, but I encourage us all to maybe make that extra effort and try to get to as many as we can. Thank you.
Yeah, I was just going to echo the ones that you were talking about. I was going to wait for the tape or new agenda items, and the dog park was one that I was going to bring up just to get if there's a department director report we can get update or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm on board with all the things that you mentioned, Starlight Bowl, dog park, McCambridge Pool, all those. So appreciate you voicing that over, and I just wanted to echo that those are definitely important priority projects that we need to see through. But definitely that dog park needs to. I know Robbie's probably. we need to figure that one out. And I know the last update we got was it was kind of out of our control, or we're waiting on the Department of Water and Power. But I think we just need to figure this one out. And if there's anything, I don't know if there's anything we have the power to do, but would love to get another additional update. I know there's a lot of chatter out there about it, so those were my comments.
I'm sorry. If I may, on the dog park, the update, which is on consent, there was some movement with the approval process. So it's moved a little bit forward, and I can tell you that I share everybody's frustrations and concerns, and we are doing everything we can. Working through our city manager and all of our contacts that we have with the city of Los Angeles to move that forward. So,
yeah, and I go back to when they built McCambridge Pool when I was a young kid, and it took a while, okay, and the community wanted to get it done fast as they could. Same with Verdugo Park when they did the renovation of the pool. I think they kept waiting for movement. It was fenced in. And then once they put the green cover over the fence, then people say, okay, and then progress started. So there's a lot of things, and it got done. And it just takes time. It's not the private sector where you can throw up something in, a few days. So, and I don't have the most patience either. So but we're going to have to wait. And the end result's going to be wonderful. I hope I'm still around to see all this stuff. So anyway, any other items? Okay, tonight.
Quick comment. I know for some of the projects that we have on here for the 2026, 2027, wondering if any of these could be helpful during the Olympics. And if so, like the McCambridge Pool, maybe, for example, if some of those could be given priority or, however you guys think of looking at that.
Yeah, so for the McCambridge Pool, if all this, like Mickey said, these projects are big projects, and Chair DiPaolo said, these projects are big projects, right? They take a lot of city coordination, project management, and so on. The timeline that we set forth for ourselves is to have construction documents completed by the end of this calendar year, go out to bid the first quarter of 2027. If the stars align, we can potentially have an 18-month construction schedule in place, which puts us in May of 2028 ahead of the Olympics. I don't want to make any promises, but that's our project schedule. That's our intention. Again, it's an aggressive schedule, and we're going to work really hard with all of our consultants, our public works team, to get that project to that finish line. We'll continue to bring this board updates as we meet those benchmarks, but we'll do it, on a consistent basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Diego. And in 1984, when the Olympics was in Los Angeles, the Israeli swim team used Verdugo Park, and there's probably still a plaque in there. So that's a point of interest. So hopefully somebody will use Verdugo again, or McCambridge. Okay, any other input from my colleagues? Thank you. Before we adjourn the Park and Recreation Board meeting tonight, I'd like to make a special announcement. Today's meeting is adjourned in loving memory of Linda Murphy, who passed away on January 26th. A truly wonderful, wonderful lady. Linda was a lifelong Burbank resident and Olympic athlete who represented the United States in women's volleyball at the 1964 Summer Olympic Games. And to say she was a trailblazer for girls and women's volley sports is an understatement. Her leadership and advocacy helped expand access to athletics and opportunity for generations of young women in Burbank and beyond. Linda dedicated her life to coaching, teaching, and mentoring, leaving a lasting impact on our community and the future of youth sports, both boys and girls. In recognition of her enduring contribution to the city of Burbank, the Parks and Recreation Department established the Linda Murphy Pioneer Award. The award is presented annually as part of the Parks and Recreation Civitan Jamboree event to honor a female athlete who exemplifies leadership, sportsmanship, and a commitment to inclusion and opportunity. As we adjourn this meeting, we honor Linda Murphy's remarkable legacy, extend our heartfelt condolences to her family, friends, and all those whose life she touched. Rest in peace, Linda. You did good. In fact, you did great. We're adjourned.